Now, I do remember early staff meetings held around a big table on the third floor there. And even at my young age of, I must have been, I don't know, 26 or something like that then, I thought they were disastrous. So these meetings went on forever. And I do remember feeling like, feeling both interested, but thinking this is really a waste of time. It could be a lot more productive. And I was pretty focused on teaching teachers and getting these materials. The managers meeting, I remember, was every Monday afternoon, and I really looked forward to that. I like the camaraderie of the group. And I felt that you made it a very safe place that we could disagree, and sometimes strongly and other times just, mildly. We were pretty respectful of each other, but we had very differences of opinions. And I particularly remember the budgeting process of setting a fair place where everyone would bring in all the income that they had, and we'd put it up on the chart, and then we would question it. Is that really it? And then we would all be sent away to come back with all of our expense budgets. I don't ever remember a year when there was just enough income so we didn't have to cut back. I mean, we knew we were going to have to cut. And, I totally trusted that all of Elaine's numbers, that she would bring them in, and she did mine. I mean, it was just really pretty amazing how I just don't think management happens like that a lot, that we would just lay it all out there, and then you would say, well, could we get by without this? I mean, these were, pet projects and people and stuff. Then you'd send us away. We didn't try to cut them there, and that made it very safe. I think it'd been very hard if we had made some of those really tough decisions together, because then Elaine and I would have had to fight against each other. So you really said to us, go back and bring it back smaller. And, I remember I worked, I don't know how many nights. I mean, the printouts we got, were this thick, and we had all of these numbers and all of these people. And by then the budget was pretty good size. I just remember that, when we got it to zero, we would be so pleased. And I don't think that I even understood right then what an accomplishment that was. I think it wasn't just at the budgeting process. I think there were other times when issues would be brought in, and we'd have a good discussion of them. And I think there was a substantial change between earlier, when there was just kind of endless discussion about things, and now your ability to list things and prioritize and keep us moving on. And because we covered a lot of ground in, 2 to 3 hours on a Monday afternoon, I think. I don't think we could have done that if of course there weren't as many of us, and that was helpful too, that there weren't. But we often brought in people. Anne would come in, and we'd do the prioritizing of grants. That was, again, another issue where those were very sensitive and very competitive issues, because it meant who were you going to fund in your camp for the next 3 years. So that was a lot of trading we had to do, and I would give in on certain things but expect to win on other things, and I think you managed that. I mean, I don't think that Elaine and I could have done that, those things alone. I think we could do the things about the developers. We did a lot of things about ideas, about what was appropriate, what wasn't appropriate, what we wanted the community to know and feel about us, and so forth. But we couldn't have done that tough trading, both of grants and of budget and that kind of thing, by ourselves, because that would have it just wouldn't have worked that way. So I think that was really a true use of the managers' meeting.